When Rimuru, as a true dragon, released his aura with no control and no restraint, the world itself began to collapse. The ground shook violently, mountains crumbled to dust, and oceans boiled into clouds of steam. The very sky darkened as space twisted and cracked, as if reality itself could no longer withstand his presence. Those caught in the storm of power had no chance. Weaker beings were erased instantly, their bodies and souls torn apart in silence. Even the strongest opponents, those who once considered themselves untouchable, were forced to their knees. Their ultimate skills screamed warnings of death, yet none could resist. For them, Rimurus Aura was not an enemy to fight. It was the end of existence itself. His subordinates, the proud warriors of Tempest, were no less shaken. Diablo stood with trembling joy, his voice breaking with awe as he whispered of his master's majesty. Benimaru, Shion, Sui, and the others collapsed to the ground, their bodies cracking under the pressure while their spirits struggled to remain loyal. Shuna fought to stay conscious, tears falling as her bond to Rimuru gave her strength. Even Zedion's absolute defense fractured. The weaker soldiers, goblins and hobgoblins alike, lost consciousness the moment his power touched them. The octagram felt the weight of despair. Guy Crimson, usually arrogant and unshakable, was forced to admit fear. Malim's dragon instincts screamed at her to flee. Ramirez cried out as her wings tore under the pressure, while Leon's barriers shattered one after another. Luminous could only whisper in disbelief, her holy light fading to nothing. Doc Gruel roared in defiance, but even his titan body began to break. And then there were the true dragons. Veldora stood silent, his carefree nature gone, replaced with awe and unease. Velzard's ice cracked as she admitted that his presence surpassed her own. Velgrine's flames flared, but they were smothered into nothing, leaving her breathless and shaken. Even they, who had once stood above all, were forced to acknowledge Rimuru as something beyond a true dragon, something closer to an unstoppable catastrophe. In that moment, Rimuru was no longer a leader, no longer a demon lord, no longer a protector. He was destruction itself, a living apocalypse that no force in existence could oppose.